Okay, here we go. Slate, and this is the 2024 5+1 show, which is our annual end of the year awards show. We all talk about our 5 favorite films that someone else picked,
Right.
plus one we saw in the real world. And
That's the plus one.
yes, the plus one, exactly. This one,
That was a
Did we
beautiful
have to
intro.
see it in a theater?
No,
yeah, you
No.
can see this is something you had
No,
nobody-
it can be, and it also doesn't have to be a new movie. It can be
As
just
long
a
as it
movie that
wasn't-
you discovered this year.
as
Yeah.
long as it
Something
was
I
not
hadn't
a-
seen before. That's
something
what
something
Correct.
something new, a new discovery for you this year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be right back.
Whoa,
Another drink? That's
What is-
3.
we just got. I have my hobby drinks all lined up down here. It's like
You're giving Jared a run for his money?
this is like I have like a bar set up. It's like the whole bar area there with the little flip up things with the cherries in them.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a good show. I already finished my first drink. We haven't started
There you
yet.
go.
Well, first up is
I haven't been like really drunk in a little while.
yeah.
Who
First
is-
up is
Who
Jared.
is first? Oh,
Oh wait, are you calling on people?
I'm going in the order the order from the chat.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, damn it. Because my plus one is still okay, fine.
Fine.
he's still watching his plus one.
No,
Fuck people
I just,
do it. I'm going to make it up on the fly as well.
Mm-hmm.
so this year was funny for me because I wanted to do what Chris said earlier too, which is choose films that, I mean, not only do we kind of choose, or how is it? I don't want to choose films that someone else picked that I'd already seen, right?
Yes.
Like,
That purged at least 60% of my list.
exactly. So what happened was everybody chose all these wonderful films, and a lot of them I had already seen, was happy to watch them again, but I'm not going to choose those. So it really narrowed down my choices very quickly. But made for some very interesting choices for me because there were so many good movies, and I was like, oh, I love that, but I had seen it before, so I'm just not going to choose it.
Right.
Okay, so I'll go backwards.
Scott, are you keeping score?
I'm just writing them all down.
Okay.
Okay, so
These aren't tiered. There's like 5. Just no
Yeah,
big.
yeah.
No, one is just
no, yeah.
Oh, I always
I'm
go
just gonna-
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna go. I'm gonna do that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So number 5 for me was a Tad pick, and that was The Long Good Friday, which I had never seen, and I really, the more that movie just went on, the more I enjoyed it. It just became like, it started off really rocky for me, almost incoherent, and I thought, this person doesn't know how to make a movie, and then it became, no, this guy is playing the long game, and like it was just a really awesome crime story. And then just watching Bob Hoskins and some of the supporting characters do their thing
that was fun.
was really awesome.
Yeah.
Never unhappy to see Bob Hoskins.
And everybody was in their depth in that film too. It was good.
Yeah, and he's on fire in that. You know, he's great in everything, but it's good to watch him in that kind of role that he, that was kind of made for him, I think.
Yeah.
My number 4 is a Scott pick, and it is Failsafe.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Just I had never seen that, and wow,
Kick in the teeth, huh?
dude,
And concur.
and just so well acted in a stacked cast, like
Mhm.
nobody's business.
Did you see the live? Did you see a live version of that they did on NBC in the late '90s?
No. Yeah.
I heard about it. I never saw it.
Wonder if that's
It was
around
good.
somewhere. That'd be worth seeing.
Yeah, I was blown away, especially by Henry Fonda, and great cinematography, black and white cinematography.
Everything.
Yeah.
Even Hagman's great in it.
Just really good.
Just a sweaty ass film, man.
And then my number 3 is a Jim Biso special.
Ooh.
It is The Hill.
Oh wow.
Had never seen it, and yeah, I just thought that was an excellent film. All of the performances, the cinematography. I mean, that was Lumet, right?
Another sweaty movie.
That was Lumet, yeah.
Yeah. Another
The guy
sweaty black and white.
the guy whose movies we've watched 6 times.
Six
Right,
of them. Yeah,
I
and
think
it's an
he's
early
got
one for
Only
him.
6? Jesus.
Yes.
It's one of those. Yeah, it's
I
one of those
picked
movies
3.
that it has all the best elements of those like underdog movies and sort of anti-authority.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And amazing
just great.
Amazing photography again.
Yeah, absolutely, and some really
Yeah,
cool
that would
camera
make a
work.
good. That would make a good double feature with The Breakfast Club.
Ha!
Okay. All right. All right.
So yeah, The Hill, number 3. Number 2 is another Jim movie.
No? I made two.
because this movie just blew me away. It's a little more recent, but it's called, I don't know the translation. I should have written it down, but it's Land of Mine.
Oh yeah.
The Danish flick.
The Danish flick.
Uh-huh.
That was just beautiful. I mean,
Bombs on a beach.
talk about cinematography and talk about tension too,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I mean, I mean, beautiful cinematography, wonderful acting, incredible tension, a cool little war story that I had never seen.
Mhm.
Totally loved it.
Without any war in it.
Yeah, just a war
Yeah.
crime, basically.
But like, you know,
Those are the
sort of these
best war
conditions.
films.
Made a short list.
Yeah, in these horrible conditions,
All
right? I mean,
wars
the
are
way
crimes.
it was cool to see the guy who was in charge of them sort of turn to liking them.
Reverse
the
Stockholm
young guys.
syndrome.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I really liked that film.
Mhm.
But my number one, and it's number one with a bullet. I mean, it's number one by far. I mean, it blew every motherfucking movie away,
I love it.
is a Scott pick.
Ooh.
And it is called Leave Her to Heaven.
Oh,
All right. Film
And it is a sort of a Douglas Sirkian kind of melodrama fucking thing that was just so rad. I mean, that thing's got
full-color
style to
psychological
spare.
Oh,
What's her name? She's
Dean
just,
Kearney?
God, she's fantastic.
Yeah, she was
I mean,
Kearney,
she
yeah.
is mesmerizing. And
Yeah.
it was so cool to see a movie, in my opinion, that was of that era, that it was so sinister in nature and so
Yeah.
like with a character that was so,
it's
you know,
dark, man.
yeah, it's
yeah.
dark for the
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Just this reprehensible person. And then even to have this sort of, not even a proper epilogue, but a post her death whole amazing rest of the story.
Yeah, it comes beyond the grave and like,
Yeah, like not even today's pictures really do
no,
that.
they
Like,
don't really. No.
you know, and that smartly.
Mhm.
And I just loved every part of that. I mean, it was awesome. And there's no cooler person or shot or style in the world than when she's on that boat with those sunglasses on and that white outfit. It's the epitome of cool. Nobody's that cool. She's evil. I loved every minute of it. So those are my 5.
Mhm. Okay, got it.
Good pick.
Well done. I think wow, I got caught in a couple times. I'm really honored.
Weird, weird ones, I think, for me this year. Anyway, my +1 though, God, see, it's
You saw a lot of movies this year. I know
saw
that.
a lot of movies. I try to pick
together.
Yeah, I try to pick ones that are of this year that probably I saw in the theater because that's like my church and I enjoy going and gosh, it's kind of, I'm
Spit it
gonna
out.
say,
Church,
You got to
the Church
do
of the
it.
Silver Screen, aka
How do you feel?
Scientology.
How
I'm
do
gonna
you
say
feel right now.
I'm gonna say my +1 is kind of a smaller movie, but you're gonna hear about it if you haven't already. It's already nominated for at least 1 Golden Globe, and it's called A Different Man. And it's stars Sebastian Stan, and he is nominated for Best Actor Golden Globe right now.
That guy has hidden potential. He's not just Bucky from like, you know,
no, he's the real
Tommy Lee.
deal.
He's a very good actor.
He's the real deal. It's sort of it's written and directed by this guy from New York, and it's sort of this really weird, cool, almost a little bit surreal, but it's really about sort of the nature of like what we think of physical beauty. I mean, you could like double bill it with the substance and it would fit. It's just very different. And it's also about like sort of watch out for what you wish for, you just might get it type of thing.
Oh, I love those kind of stories.
And it also stars a really severely deformed actor who we've seen in Under the Skin.
Under the
He
Skin.
gets
that
picked
guy.
up.
That guy.
He got a second film role.
Yeah. So, and it's a big role in this movie.
Wow.
And he's good. He's very good. And he's very much the character he's supposed to be in this, which becomes this really annoying thing, but in this brilliant way.
And is this in theaters right now? Excuse me, Jared. Is this playing or is it?
I think it is. I think you can go see it right now. I saw it at Sundance actually, and then it just came out wide release. So, but it's also in the girl, the love interest, so to speak, is the star of The Worst Person in the World, that beautiful woman,
Renata.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a really great cast, really, really interesting story. One of those movies that poses really intense questions and doesn't give you any answers, but it gives you enough to come away from it with just your brain full of idea of, of ready for a conversation, like a huge conversation with anyone who's seen it.
Huh. Wow, gotta check that out.
A Different Man is on Amazon Prime for $5.
Okay,
there you go.
Jim's next. Are you doing ranking or are you doing all threes again?
Yeah, they're all threes.
Okay, so
They're 2.3s.
three. Well, 3 times 5 is 15, right? So
Put my glasses on here, old man. Okay, so in no particular order. First one's a Jared pick, American President.
okay, wow, okay.
Charming
Nice.
It's a fun little movie. And,
Fascinating.
I just wish we had a president like that. Like,
Yeah, well, oh boy, we
Science
never
fiction
did, but
movie.
it got close.
Yeah, but that also, like, you say that about Dave too. Like,
Yeah. Dave is a cute
True.
movie too. It's kind of different, but
you know, also
Yeah.
English to say about King Ralph. You think about it.
Right.
I'd take any of those.
I'm never going to say
Right.
anything about King Ralph except fuck King Ralph.
Okay.
I would even take George III from the Porphyry movie or whatever that movie was called.
I would take a
The
soap dish.
Madness of King
Yeah.
George.
I'd take a.
Okay, next one is a John Harden pick.
Mm.
Le Joli Mai by
Ah.
Chris
Oh.
Marker.
I see. When I picked that, I knew there would be one of us that would like it.
Yeah, yeah.
But did you
And
know someone?
I just thought it
as
was
I
a
did?
lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it also like showed us a whole new side of Scott
Oh boy, I hate
going
that.
into his anti-communism.
I hate
I
that
thought you
joke.
were going to say Paris, and you said
No, no.
Scott.
I hate that movie.
Next one's a Chris Yarian pick. I really enjoyed it. I'd heard about it and just never got around to seeing it. Profondo Rosso. by
Profondo
Dario
Rosso.
Argento. Yeah. Deep Red, I think it was
Deep
in
red.
English.
that was fun.
It was.
Then we got Scott, of course. I really enjoyed this flick. Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh
Mhm.
wow, thanks.
A little Wes
Yeah.
Anderson action.
I love that stuff. I love that.
And then, of course, because Tad is always last, Blood Tea and Red Strand
Oh,
It's on the short list for
was a
sure.
lot of fun.
yeah. That was such a unique film.
Unique.
Yeah.
Completely unique.
It really, it's an overused qualifier, but it
Yeah,
really
it's a
was
cliche,
unique.
but it really applies here.
You're never going to see anything like that again until her next film eventually comes out. Eventually.
Well,
Eventually.
yeah, she's making
What's
If we
your-
live-
what's
if we
your-
live long
frame
enough
a day
to,
or something.
What's your +1, Jim?
Oh
My
yeah.
+1, and I'm really embarrassed to say that I had never seen this until this year, Scent of a Woman.
Wow.
Ooh, ah. Yeah.
And it
Good
was
movie.
a lot of fun. Plus the fact that I discovered that it was actually based on an Italian film from the 70s.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'd like to see it.
That's the
yeah.
movie where I first saw Philip Seymour Hoffman, and I knew he was going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Right. That's like
Like
an early
I was
one for
really
him,
young, but
right?
I was like, I'm going to keep my eye on that fucking guy because he
Yeah,
stole the
yeah,
movie
yeah.
in like 2 scenes.
Yeah.
Right, because that was
Al-
pre-Boogie Nights, right?
No, we had
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh
He
yeah.
did in Boogie Nights too. He came out on screen and it's
right.
like your eyes were on him.
Yeah,
that was
Boogie
like-
Nights,
Al Pacino.
But
that was
Bo-
Boogie Nights for me. Was
Boogie
just
Nights was like
shit.
97 and Son of a Woman's like 93.
Yeah. I've never
Al
seen
Pacino's
that one.
apology Oscar.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is Pacino's apology. That's true.
but at least it's a
And
good
he
movie, right?
robbed and he robbed Denzel and Malcolm X, which is why they had to give him an apology Oscar for training.
Next year.
Oh yeah. Well,
But he
I mean,
earned
look at
it for
Scorsese.
Screen.
It just keeps going down the.
I know. It
It
an
pushes
extended
everyone
apology
back.
going back to
Yes.
probably like probably
I mean,
like
he should have
Howard
won
Hughes.
for Taxi Driver
Yeah.
or Goodfellas. It just keeps pushing him back.
Sure,
Yeah.
Clara Bow's got to apologize to back in the 1920s. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, right. God damn that Clara Bow was robbed.
No, it's kind of like Son of a Woman is it's definitely sort of a commercial drama, but it's one of the good ones. I mean, it's done really well.
Mhm.
But it's one of those movies where you like Chris O'Donnell was like on top of the world after that movie.
Big time.
And then he did like Batman and you never heard from him again.
Yeah, he went,
like,
he does
I only know
he
him
just hit
from,
that
I think
wave
he
at
got
the
his. I
wrong.
think he got his money. I think he got his
Yeah.
money and he got out.
yeah, I think he just wanted to stop. Yeah, he must have been a personal
Yeah.
decision.
I think
he
some
was
people do
in,
that, which is nice.
Law and Order, whatever it is. No, not Law and Order. CSI, NCIS. Los
Maybe he couldn't get
Angeles.
hired.
He ended up in that particular circuit, in other words, the
Yeah.
network.
No, I
went-
think what happened. I think what happened is he kind of caught the bug again, and then
Uh-huh.
it's like, oh, I'm now TV actor famous.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's
Anyway,
It's a paycheck.
good flicks.
Yeah, good stuff.
It's
All right,
a pretty
well done.
good fucking paycheck if you're on one of those shows because
Oh,
they're
yeah,
syndicated all over the place.
6. I guess I don't know. My math sucks. Again, my math sucks. But there's my runners up. Pretty much in no particular order. The things that almost made the cut for top 5.
Honorable mention, basically.
Honorable mentions: Death Race 2000. Come on.
Yeah.
Road to Perdition. Flawed but somehow compelling.
Yeah, agreed.
Black Bear, loved it. Man for All Seasons, really loved it. Seventh Seal, amazing. Leave Her to Heaven, amazing. And Blue Ruin, just a really goddamn good movie.
What a movie.
The Train, same note. And The Hunt just didn't make the top 5 for me. It was like such a good movie, so well done, so gripping, and just such great filmmaking. So that's my
I should have done my runners up.
I
had
have
so many.
I have honorable.
I- last year some people did runners up, so I took
I
the
did this year.
By all means.
This
means.
is a tough one because these years, everyone's picks are amazing this year.
there was some good movies.
They
Man.
were really rather
Good.
good. I had fun
Yeah.
going over the list.
I know. Same here.
I've been working on my list for 6 months. I think
All right.
bumping
Anyway.
stuff up and down. All right, so number 5, a tad pick, as
Oh.
a matter of fact, Risen.
Zen.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that I enjoyed the hell out of it. It's a really interesting and well-made movie, I think, and it's a really interesting take on a story that we all know.
They did well with a low budget on that movie.
Yeah.
They really
I
did.
enjoyed that way more than I do.
Same here.
Expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
As an action flick, it worked.
Way
You know,
more.
it's like
And as a police
I
procedure.
think I felt the same way
As a
Chris
police
did.
procedure.
on it.
procedural, it worked. Yeah.
Also, it made me something I thought wasn't possible anymore, but it made me miss Catholicism because it was just like,
Ooh.
wow,
That's just
High praise.
yeah,
Well, it's got nice. It's got nice Jesus.
it's got nice Jesus.
Yeah.
nice
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Also, hot Jesus.
Yeah.
and hot Jesus.
Cute
Hot
Jesus.
Jesus.
He does have a great smile,
Cliff Curtis is one of again. He's like the other guy. Your eye goes to in every movie he's in.
right?
Like Training Day. It's like he's just one of those
Yeah.
actors.
He's
Although
good
my
at Training
favorite
Day.
Jesus is still what's his name? Willem Dafoe.
Willem
Oh,
Dafoe.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were going to say Jeffrey Hunter.
No,
I was going to say Jeffrey Hunter.
I was a
couldn't
teenage.
remember his
I was a
name.
teenage Jesus.
Yeah, Jeffrey Hunter scares me a little bit. It's those eyes, those
Yeah.
blue
Those
eyes.
eyes.
See the Ewan McGregor Jesus?
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen that one.
No.
And I saw the Donald.
Jesus in Clockwork Orange.
I
He's
saw the
pretty good.
Donald Sutherland Jesus in Johnny Got His Gun too. That's pretty weird.
Wow,
Yeah.
I forgot about
I
that.
forgot that
Jesus
he
appears
was-
in Johnny Got His Gun.
Yeah, there's a little reverie there. He's actually making
Yeah.
crosses and talking to Johnny.
Wow,
My favorite is Buddy
Oh, yeah.
Christ.
Buddy Christ.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with
Yeah.
that,
Buddy
yeah.
Christ, yes.
thumbs up.
Uh-huh.
All right, number 4 is a Jim Beso pick, as a matter
Oh
of
my
fact.
goodness.
And here's one that stuck with me. So I think it's from pretty early in 2024.
Uh-huh.
King Rat.
Oh.
Mm.
Of the
Another
many,
black and white sweaty war movie.
another sweaty black and white war movie. And of the many,
I think we have to change the name of the show at this point.
The
The
sweaty
name
war
of the show
movie.
is not yelling about movies anymore.
Yeah.
It's black and white sweaty war movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's kind of
Well,
true.
At least every
Maybe a
fifth
genre we're
week.
hitting a lot lately.
so I don't, honestly, because it's been a while, I don't remember the details, but I remember being so impressed that I'm like, oh, this is going on the list.
Mhm.
I know that it has a knockout ending, and I was really sort of taken with it, and I'm definitely going to revisit it and watch it again.
Yeah, I think that was like in January, early
That was
January.
Yeah.
early.
I was plumbing my brain trying to remember what was it I thought was so cool about it, and I know I did, and the ending's great. So and yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go back and watch it again. So that was,
It'd be a good double bill with Stalag 17.
of the many Prisoner of War films we've watched this year, Jim, this is my favorite.
It's also one of the
This is your favorite. Okay.
You know nothing about the.
It should have ended with the Germans driving around modern Berlin.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's some sidebar where it's my favorite ending of any movie this year.
That's
favorite
definitely-
credit sequence of any movie. That's the
Holy
one.
shit!
It's quite good.
What was that movie? What's that movie called?
Captain,
General.
the captain.
The captain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, that I
They're
love
they're
that fucking movie.
That was in my top 5 last year.
Oh yeah, easy.
All right, good enough.
All right, number 3 is a Jared pick.
Ooh.
I'm going to describe it before I put it up on the screen. I'll bet you guys will be able to name it. I wrote down, visually, it's just so striking, but that is not decorative in this case. It is the essence of the experience of watching this film. I admire its purity.
Ooh. Purity of essence.
Yeah, purity of essence.
Sure sounds like Alien, but
Yeah, well, yeah, I know that's sort of a reference to it.
I have no
too
idea.
many movies. I don't know.
All right, okay.
Oh
Boat
yeah.
Travail.
Oh, Boat Travail,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, Beau Travail, yes.
Yeah, that
It's like
was just
it's like a kind of like a poem.
it's
More
like going into
sweaty-
Another
More
I
sweaty
was gonna say,
war
it's a
movie.
sweaty
Or
color.
sweaty soldiers.
Very sweaty,
Color.
very-
It's just not black
Not
and
a lot
white.
of war, but a lot of sweat. Tons
A lot
of
of
Maybe we
sweaty
need-
men.
Maybe if Tad's right, we need to change the name of this show.
So much sweat in this.
Well, we could change the name of the show because it would also apply to us as a double entendre. It could just be sweaty men.
Sweaty guys in close-ups.
No,
Sweaty
remember to
guys
spray yourself
talking
down
about
before you get on
movies.
the
Sweaty guys in
camera there,
close up. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Put that orange
Some of us
filter
are
on so it seems
bald.
really hot.
Wait a minute.
I'm dying.
I'm ready for my close-up.
Everybody has to wear a wife beater though. With big
No,
old
it's
stains.
Miss
Yeah,
it's
right?
Miss Denis actually.
Mistany, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a film. Very memorable. Number 2, look, it's Chris's pick. What's it gonna be?
Death Race 2000.
Life
No, yeah,
Force.
No, that was an honorable mention.
Yeah, Death Race was
right.
an honorable mention.
That's right.
Life
You never
Force,
saw that one.
dude.
You never saw it. That's
That's right.
right.
You didn't see it. I
Oh
forgot.
my god.
I am the sci-fi guy,
I'm
and
so happy you saw that
somehow,
movie.
somehow I missed this beautiful gem.
Is that Life Force?
It's
Yeah.
Life Force,
Yeah.
man.
Dark Star.
No, Life Force. Good God.
Utterly batshit.
Utterly batshit, but in its own way, I wrote down as sincere as it's like Linus looking for the great pumpkin level of sincere. It's,
It is committed. Fully
it so
committed.
believes in what it is, and it is so fucking loony. God, I just loved it. I loved it.
I'm
I
so
can't
glad to hear that. That's
Wait to
actually-
watch it again.
Chris and I.
That
That's
was,
one
I
of the.
think that episode was like just 3 of us.
Yeah, it was.
Really?
It was just
Like
a girl.
Yeah.
everybody had
Just me,
something else
you,
going
and,
on, and so it's just
I
me,
was gonna
John,
say, well,
me,
that
John, and Scott.
Yeah. And we're all just
Screaming.
like, and me and Chris just reminiscing about where we first saw it. Like, oh my god,
Yeah, right.
remember we were 85. That was pretty funny.
What, Jared?
Oh, I was nothing. I don't want to interrupt your list. I just was going to say that like the other thing that helped me do my list so quickly was I had so many, like I was filming I missed like a month and a half
No, you were
for
absent
filming.
for a while. Yeah.
And then I was like, I had other shit going. So anyway, apologies that
worry
there were
about
a
it.
lot of picks that I didn't see actually.
So you haven't seen Life Force?
No, I missed it.
Oh boy.
You need to see.
I missed
You
King
need to
Rat. I
see
missed
it.
Life Force. I missed.
One
I
of the
imagine-
flimsiest excuses for a woman to walk around naked for most of the running time I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine Tad listened.
Damn it. And I missed that.
Right?
You missed it, dude.
All right.
All right. And last, but certainly not least, another Tad pick. We started with a Tad pick. We're ending with a Tad pick. It's been mentioned already. Hunty and Red String.
Blood Tea and Red String.
Certainly the most singular and memorable piece of cinema that I've seen all year.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just, it casts a spell, right? And
It
I
does.
really fell for it. I loved it.
Not a word was spoken.
Not a word was
Me too,
spoken.
man. It had an effect.
Like some images in that movie are seared in my brain forever.
I know.
You're right.
It just took.
They've been seared into my brain for like fucking the last 15 years, man.
I'm glad you finally got around
I
to
didn't
picking
get
it.
them out by making you fucking watch them.
well, weirdly enough, thanks. So
Yeah.
that's good. All right.
Right. Okay, so that just
And you're
Wait,
plus
no,
one.
you're +1.
that
Plus
just leaves
one.
my +1, and of course I had runners up for that too.
Go ahead.
Um,
I have
I
mine
can't-
too. So.
I can't pick Ikari XB1 because I'd seen it before, but fucking great. I can't pick Failsafe, same reason.
Wait, what are you talking about?
His
These are
runners up.
his plus one.
These are my +1s.
Oh, these are the ones.
No, this is
runners
your-
up.
This
Plus
is
one's
your-
runners
Oh,
up.
okay.
5 runners up. You haven't gotten your +1 yet.
Right. Those are my. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading from the wrong part of my list. The things I can't. The things. Those were runners up to the runners up.
That's right. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. So the two things I can't pick. One I won't pick because it's really a 2023 movie, even though I saw it in January. The Zone of Interest is amazing, and
You know, I don't see why not.
I know, I know, but it's I don't know. I didn't pick it. Let's put
He's
it
a
that way.
stickler.
That's the
I'm a
best. That's
stickler.
the best movie I saw last year by far.
Right. And then I just saw last week A Real Pain and really enjoyed it, but that's too fresh, so it's too heavily weighted in my head to pick. So to be fair, what I'm really going to pick is the movie that I still like, even though I saw it 8 months ago, which is from 1945. From 1945, Brief Encounter.
Whoa, that's a new
Directed-
one. That's no.
Directed by David Lean, written by Noel Coward, starring Trevor Howard and Celia
I was
Johnson.
going to choose that.
You know, you
Really?
mentioned it, Jim.
Yeah.
I remember, and I had either was about to watch it or I had just watched it when you mentioned it. It was about probably 6 or 8 months ago, and I was like, oh, there's that.
That
So,
might be the
yeah.
that might be the oldest
David
like
Lean.
+1 we've ever had.
God,
Mhm.
it's so good.
Uh-huh. Wow.
It's beautifully written and beautifully acted and very affecting, very very moving. Yeah, so I probably will pick it sometime in the future.
Sounds
but
good.
that's my +1.
And Chris, it's Chris's turn now.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
are you ranked 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
Yeah, I am. So same caveats. I didn't pick anything I'd seen before. Well, I mean, I'll tell you, I looked at the list and I think what Tad said he did, which is I just looked at the columns, which was the movie and not who picked what. So I think it's unevenly distributed for a change. So I didn't pick anything I'd seen before. I didn't pick anything I had picked, obviously. And then that made the list a fuck ton shorter. I don't know. It's just,
Yep.
this year, like I was just like,
Same.
wow, there's a lot of movies I love, but like probably watching
I've
like
seen
Fight
them.
Club. Fight Club I've seen for like the 50th fucking time. So in any event, and then the other thing I did, and I don't know if anybody else would have gone through the trouble. I went and rewatched the episodes.
Oh wow, good for you.
Talked about some
I
of these.
did. I did for a couple that
Yeah.
were like on the.
I went and rewatched. So it's like, I remember
So-
I came out of the gate really hot on that one. So like, yes.
Are you retired? Is that what?
Yeah, I'm fucking retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
A little
but
extra
you
time to
and,
do these things.
Chad.
So which brings me to a
I just
movie-
watch you at work.
I think I was alone on this one. Straight story.
Aha.
You
Oh,
goddamn
hey.
right you were.
I was very fucking. I watched it. It's like, I was totally on the iceberg alone on this one.
Well, it's
and
one of
I
mine,
remember,
so
like-
I'm not going to say that. You did a
I
very
missed
good
that
idea.
episode too.
Yeah, well, I think you picked
Literally
it,
one of
Scott.
the most boring
I
things
picked
I've
it, yes.
ever seen.
Yeah, Scott. I think Scott picked this. I really, I really love this movie. It's got the sweetest heart, and the ending hit me like a ton of bricks, and I love it unconditionally. And there you go.
It's also still kind of weird.
It's not anywhere
it-
near
not
weird.
that weird.
not-
It's just
but-
it's just
No,
weird
it-
because it's coming from
And
Lynch.
just for the record, I fucking love David Lynch.
It's like a little fairy dust sprinkle as opposed to like a title.
Yes.
Weird.
It's
My
like
number
dollar
4.
store Lynch.
Oh,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
It's candy store Lynch. My number 4, which I think this was a Jim.
Oh, I knew this would be on your.
Oh, line
Yeah,
of weird. Wow.
I was kind of surprised how much I love this. It is one of the bitchiest things I've ever seen, and this would end up on my
Because
list.
it has Catherine.
If it
Hepburn
only,
in it.
if it only, this entire movie consisted of the scene where Anthony Hopkins and Peter O'Toole are screaming at each other, I would have picked it just for that. And the fact that the movie ends, he puts her back in the fucking dungeon after everything like,
Of course, sends her back.
Just-
to,
I
Bye
found that
bye.
movie.
I
Fun in prison.
I just found
love
it kind of hokey.
This
The whole
movie is
production.
mean as a snake, and I loved every second of it.
What are you
It's,
talking about, Chris?
it's Who's
What's
Afraid
your
of
next
Virginia
one?
Woolf in the Middle
Yeah,
Ages.
Yeah.
but Chris, you're a salty bitch. You've been a
I
salty
am a
bitch.
salty
Right.
bitch. This movie is
Talking
a
about
salty
no-
bitch. So yes, I'm a salt.
She won. Yeah.
All right.
She won.
There's
She
another
won the
one.
Academy Award.
I think I was also alone on this one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, another Jim.
Damn.
Wow.
Infierno.
I enjoyed the shit out of this movie. I will watch it again.
I did not hate that. I think I may have come across more in that I hated it, but that's because I liked the other one so much more.
Oh,
Yeah, I really enjoy Hell.
No, this one,
Infierno?
El Infierno.
I
this
will
film
recommend
set a,
it.
it set a mood,
Infierno.
that film. It was like,
Yeah,
I just
definitely.
for me it was just like, again, seeing a movie made by Mexicans for Mexicans in a part of Mexico we usually don't see in movies and then just the whole the sprawling nature of these sort of weirdly small stories it was telling. I just thought it was great. I really
Good practical effects on cutting the guy's tongue off.
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Okay, this was a tough one. My number one and number two were real tough, and had I not, well, we'll get to my number one, but if not for my number one, which came late in the year, this would have been my number one.
The one I love. Okay.
Which again, I think I mentioned, well, I during the review, I said this is one of those movies that comes out of nowhere. I never even heard of it, and I started at 10 o'clock, and by the end of the movie, I was so jacked up I couldn't sleep. I
So good.
admire the shit out of this movie. I just think it's a little gem, and you would
Mhm.
never know it looking at this poster.
Right.
It's a really intelligent
You know-
sci-fi flick.
It's
Yeah.
an ordinary looking movie that fucks with your
It's-
brain.
Yeah.
It's coherent.
Well, it's so simple yet so effective.
Yeah, I
So
I
good.
thought
That
this
is,
movie
that
was
is an A24 ass poster.
Yes.
Which
And
I
then,
like that.
I don't know. So that was, and then
All posters are good, Jarrett.
All posters are good.
Wow.
I'm gonna get another banner behind me. All
My number
posters are
one.
good. Actually, Jim, I take umbrage with that. They are not all
Okay.
good.
There's
So,
a lot of
um,
fucking shit posters out there.
Yeah, they're right.
Especially
This
the ones that like
was-
imitate bigger
I don't
movies because they're
think you
trying to
were
fucking
around,
trick you.
Tad, when he said that, or were you?
Anyway, this
All
is the movie I
movies are
probably
good.
should have seen by now.
No, I was here when he said that.
Okay.
I know. this.
Hold on. Chris got the floor.
Yeah,
So-
He is
Sorry.
yelling about movies. We all have to interrupt
It
him.
is yelling.
All right.
I'm used to it.
Is this your number one, Chris?
My number one.
Okay. All right.
A
I'm
movie I
glad
should have
I'm
seen-
glad that was
a
on
movie
my
I
list
should have
too.
seen
That's cool.
already. Movie I should have seen already. Hadn't knocked me on my ass. Like,
Yeah.
yes, it's Doctor Strangelove, but I mean, honestly, this and Doctor Strangelove has got this lovely sort of yin yang thing going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And again, this is a movie I will watch over and over and over again. Kind of shocked it took me this long. But
Yeah,
It's amazing because I
Strangelove
almost
has,
didn't pick it. It was like
Screenplay by
I
Terry
assumed everyone
Southern.
saw it
You
a
got-
million times. And I almost didn't pick this film. But
You got two,
You know,
Scott.
if
You got
if
two.
I had, if it
on
had
the
been
same
the first
movie.
time, if it had been my first time, it would have been
Yeah,
on my
it
top
would have
5
been.
list
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, there were so many that would have been on my list if it. Yeah, had I not seen them.
So my plus, honorable mentions. I mean, the Red Tea movie. Like, I didn't make an honorable mention list this year, but you guys have mentioned a couple that would definitely been on it. When it comes to stuff off the show, I didn't go to a ton of movies in the theater. I have tried to catch up lately, and I did finally get around to The Substance the other night, which, like John said, it's still kind of fresh in my brain, but the more I think about it, the more the problems are starting to sort of creep in, and not the least of which is it's just too fucking long. This is a movie David Cronenberg could have made for 90 minutes, and it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. Like, this is my problem with a lot of movies lately, is there are no choices being made when it comes to like what stays and what gets edited out. People just like, no, put it all in. And I'm like, why am I still watching this gooey thing, which again, Cronenberg could have made for 90 minutes.
This is the other half of what we talked about.
I-
We were talking about in this week. Remember this? John just published about why the first films are not crappy anymore. The
This is
problem
not
with these
her
things,
first
they all
movie.
new movies go on too long now because
This is not her
it's-
first movie.
I know,
it's
but
not,
still,
and
they're
I-
still too long now. They are all films are getting
I-
too long.
I agree with that, and I agree with you, Chris. Although I would submit that had Cronenberg made this, I think it actually wouldn't be as good.
I
And
agree
mean-
with you.
and I mean that with like so
No,
much
no,
love
this
for
had to have been
Cronenberg.
made. This movie
But-
had to have been made by a woman.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
but also I think Cronenberg as a whole, like just speaking in generalities, his films are all imperfect because even though he's a very strong filmmaker, I think he's not so. I don't want to. I think this movie is sharper than his
Don't
stuff.
get me wrong. I think it's a fucking A. I just don't know that it's an A plus.
Okay, so what'd you pick though?
Well, it's funny because it's funny. I'm like, oh God, I got to go all the way back to a thing that came out, I think, in January, which is a reminder that occasionally in the hands of a great director, big screen entertainment is.
Yeah, hey.
I mean,
Remember-
this is one
remember
of those
Dune
things
was
I
a-
walked out of and went, I got no notes. That was
Yeah.
fucking perfect.
They nailed it, man. That was
And it's just, and again, it's just the level of like, there's so many
Goody bagpipes.
There's so many big budget
Cue the
IMAX
bagpipes.
sized movies that come out that you go, it's fine. This is one where I was like, now granted, I mean, he's got amazing material to work with, but I just think this movie is next to flawless. And if you put the two of them together, it's fucking amazing. And
Is that the
can't
Surf
wait
on a
for
Worm
people-
movie?
Yes.
I really loved it. I loved I love it.
I can't wait
It's
for
the
Surfing
one
on a-
with
Don't
the
know.
Queen soundtrack.
Let's make a cover, Chris, of Surfing on a Worm.
so here we go. And
Good picks, Chris.
Last but not least.
also great picks, Chris.
No,
Thanks.
Tad's last.
Tad's last. Yeah,
Scott. Penultimate.
So I'm next. I want to do okay. Here are my picks. The honorable mentions first because I wrote. It was so hard to pick this year because you guys really came up with some amazing films that really kind of affected me in a lot of ways, which is great. The honorable mention, Beau Travail. That film is one of the trippiest films visually I've seen since like Jodorowsky's The Holy Mountain. It's just I saw it on my new television, the OLED one is fuck. It's like eye crack. It was crazy. So the next one is the one I love, and man, what a flick!
Yeah.
I mean, it's just simple, but like I said, it's a simple little story that you go to bed at night. It's like, what the fuck just happened to me? It's like, whoa! It's like it was such a neat, and I pick my films based on my emotional attachment to them, not like like technical or anything like that. So the next one is Three Women. Oh, where has this film been all my life?
These are your honorable mentions. They're all mine.
These are honorables. These are honorables. And he's like, I know these are like the ones I just did this like they're bubbling below my favorites. A Man for All Seasons, my favorite film. I've seen it many times. Well done, see it again. And The Savage Eye.
Yeah. The other half of John's.
Again, that's about as trippy as Beau Travail in a lot of ways. It's like good stuff. Okay, here we go. This is my 5. So I ranking 5 to 1. So number 5 is Climax. That's a Jared pick.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh man, I was in this film's groove. It just like once it got going and I knew it was headed. It was just you just disconnect and just follow it. It was so much fun, and gross and
Oh yeah, it's fucked up.
and weird and just human.
But it's like you can't love it or hate it. There's nobody makes movies like that.
Nobody. It was so well done, and it was a great introduction to that director too. And so, yeah. And okay, the next one up is a John pick that I really had a lot of fun with. Brand upon the brain! Exclamation. Oh man, it was delightful. It was so much fun. And watching Guy Madden work is just my thing. It's like a magician, and he is also a storyteller and a terrible storyteller, but no one cares because he's so entertaining. You know what I mean? Like, he never makes sense.
Well, then is he a terrible storyteller?
That's exactly right. It's the confounding. He doesn't make sense, but he tells funny stories, so you don't know if he's doing a good job. So okay, there it is. So that was okay. That's number 4. Number 3, Profondo Rosso. Yeah. What I just that was just creamy over the eyes. What a visual experience, and I love the way they put giallos together in terms of like just they're so jagged and weird and it's so much fun to watch. One of my first exposures to real good giallo, and that was just a great experience. Okay, number 2, Blood Tea and Red String. I was so good. I watched it twice.
That's like 3. Yeah,
I think it's up on 3. Yeah, but it was such a fine film and lots of hard work and emotionally just right there. Right there. It hit right in the center. I mean, it was, you wouldn't think little animated puppets of mouse heads and like that would work, but fuck, it did, man.
I think it grabs your inner child.
It does. It's just something about that was amazing.
And it strangles it.
And it strangles it,
Yeah,
yes.
it does. The number one is for me because it had such an emotional hit. Was another Jared pick, The Hunt,
Mm.
because it was well. This is personal because he's a teacher and this kid, and it's like it just hit close to home for me.
Mm.
And I just like the way it's put together. I love the understated performances, and it was just so tense.
Yeah.
It was just it.
Yeah,
The
I think
ending
that's like that's kind of a hidden gem in my
it
opinion.
is. It is.
It's
The
such
ending
good
with that bullet going.
Yeah.
God, it was so well done.
It's very mature filmmaking.
It is. It's very mature. It's very well thought out.
And that's Thomas
That's Vinterberg.
Vinterberg.
Yeah.
Vinterberg,
He's the fucking man. Yeah. Another round. He's the man.
round.
Yeah, yeah. So another that was big the year we did that one too. Another round.
Yeah.
This was really well done. So were great picks, and they all just the ones I picked all just fuck with me afterwards. So it was great.
Nice.
So okay. Oh,
I love that list.
no, thank you. Okay, +1 honorable mention for +1. Dune Part 2.
Mhm.
Furiosa. I was entertained. It wasn't.
Oh
great.
yeah, it was good.
I still
was
need
pretty
to
good.
watch it.
And Inside Out 2.
I love that fucking movie.
I know it was so good.
That's Chris loves that movie.
Yeah, it's
I
a
love
nice
that.
build on top of the thing. But number one, and this was the one that blew me away in the theater, was The Substance.
Okay.
Oh, I love that movie. I watched it again last week.
John, did you see this yet?
I have not seen it yet.
Oh,
Sheila refused to go with me, so I didn't.
I think you both would hate it, to be honest.
Really?
No, Demi
Well,
Moore
it's
I'm
entirely
a
really
Cronenberg
fucking
fan.
gory. It's just really gory.
is
I'm okay
very
with
bloody.
that.
Okay.
Everybody in
okay.
this film is
The
fearless,
context.
though. Dennis Quaid's fearless. Demi
I mean,
Moore is
by the end,
extremely
it's a
fearless.
Guar concert.
It is. But not even that.
But it's
like,
right.
comical, right?
but also,
it's
it's saying something very serious about where
Oh,
we are in this.
Except that it's got the subtlety of a sledgehammer.
But that's how.
but there's some
That's
there's
how
some-
this kind of horror film works. When the reviewers of this film said there are geysers of blood, they literally were talking about geysers of blood.
It's true. But here's the real thing about that movie. The ending where there's geysers of blood is not as gross as like the middle where it's
There's
actually
way grosser shit in that movie.
There is.
yeah, where
that's
she's
actually
like
kind of-
sucking the stuff out of her
Wait a
and putting it in
minute,
her.
wait,
Okay.
Way
Anyway,
worse.
but actually, that part with the geysers of blood is
Way
pretty
worse.
funny, actually.
I'm just gonna wait.
But
You
yeah,
guys
please,
wait when
please
ready
see this
for-
film because
Oh,
it's
Don't get
so
me
well-
wrong. It's an A. I just
Yeah.
don't know that it was an A plus.
It's also it's one of those
Well,
things. It's
I think Chris probably could have been shorter.
I will watch an A.
also the
for
one
sure.
thing that made it weird is that it's a film about Hollywood, set in Hollywood, but filmed entirely in France with a French crew.
Yeah.
So it just weirdifies everything about this.
Well,
entire film.
Scott, this also breaks
Unbelievable.
your rule of not liking movies about show business in Hollywood.
Oh, but
Yeah.
it bent that shit out of it, man.
Yeah.
Well, and
Threw
they
it out the window.
and they
Ran over with
purposely
a car a
don't
couple times.
they purposely don't show you LA. When she walks to go get her packages, it's just very much on her. You know,
Well,
there's
they were-
no
They weren't shooting in America that I could see why.
Also,
right. There's no like background in that
The
fucking
color
movie.
palette is
you
unbelievable.
see some palm trees, those little brush head palm trees. That's it.
Yeah,
The one
that's
thing
it.
actually, the one thing that actually made this film
They have in France.
is I spent
Yeah.
10 years doing DVDs for a woman named Tracy Anderson. You ever heard of her?
Yeah.
She was a fitness guru.
Yeah.
And she did tons of DVDs. I did all of them. I have 4 gigabytes.
Oh, so
Oh.
there you go. That's her.
There
So,
you go.
it
So
was-
you've had to look at
this-
bouncing butts and crotches forever.
This film is that woman.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird.
Aged
It's like,
out.
this is the Tracy Anderson story as a horror film. You know,
Yeah.
so it's good stuff. All right,
Wow.
that's me. Who wanted the final word?
Okay, so I
Are you, are you doing
do
in
not-
order or in any order?
I'm doing in order from 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
I did not do the things I haven't seen before for everything, just because I wasn't here for 4 months, so I didn't see a lot of stuff. So I have one like semi runner-up, which is a movie that I wasn't here for, but it's a movie that was on my list and I would have picked very soon, which is La Silence de la Mer.
Oh,
Is this your number 5?
No.
Runner-up.
Oh, runner-up. Oh,
This
honorable
is-
mention. Okay.
Yeah, this is a different honorable mention because I wasn't even here for it. It's
So it's
just
an
that I
honorable-
literally
honorable. It's
that was on my list in a movie I was going to
Oh,
pick.
it's in
So-
absentia. Yes.
mhm.
Yeah. Other honorable mentions: Shadow of a Doubt, Infernal Affairs, and The Straight Story.
Wow, those are all mine.
Wait a minute, you said The Straight
Um,
Story's boring at the
You
earlier
hated the
in
Straight Story.
Hey, people can
no,
change their mind.
I came back around on it. It's
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
He
Cool.
can change his mind.
I've done the same with all you guys.
I'm in
You
favor
not
of
guys
saying
talk
he
me into
can't.
movies.
I just wanted
no,
some.
I came back around on it because it is boring, but I think it's boring in service of a very interesting story. Like I picked that entirely because I think the story is interesting. I think the movie's boring. That's why it's
This
not in my top five.
the
Okay.
straight story. Oh, never mind.
Um, so number five, and I did not put down who picked these, so sorry. Anatomy of a Fall. Um,
Oh,
Yeah,
that's another movie that grew
brilliant.
that's
on me
John picked that one.
over the course of the year.
I wasn't sure.
Um,
Yeah.
Brilliant.
there's some really good performances in that.
Oh
Like
God, yeah.
that's I picked that. That's the movie I picked for acting. Like
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
the scene where the two where her and the lawyer are outside and they're sharing the cigarette.
Mhm.
Like
Oh, yeah.
I think that's an incredible scene between just two people who've been through this whole thing together, and like there is that moment of doubt that he has that I think is fantastic. You know, um, number two, I actually somewhat mentioned this a minute ago, but La Dictadura Perfecta.
Oh,
Um, the Going back to what was it you, Chris, said about El Infierno, about a movie made in Mexico
Yeah.
for Mexicans about stuff that we don't really see. This like interaction between the government and the military and the police and the media and all of that stuff, I thought combined to be a very interesting overall engaging movie. Like I was definitely like leaned forward while I was watching that. Like, okay, what's going to happen next? You know.
100%.
hell of an ending
Number
too, might I
three,
add.
Yeah.
yes. Number three, Beau Travail.
Ah, nice.
There it is again.
Beau Travail. 100%. I'm picking that just for how fucking gorgeous it is.
Yes.
Like,
Mhm.
like that is one of the best looking movies I've seen in years.
Yeah.
And like the incredibly stark reality of Djibouti and like the way that it can contain this story inside of that beautiful scenery, I think is fascinating. Um, have some issues with some of the choices that were made in it, but it is one of those that just sort of stuck up here the whole time.
And the
You
weird
know?
thing is they couldn't see. They had no monitoring on set, so their
Right.
cinematographer
Did,
just
didn't have
did it
dailies, just
That's
fucking
amazing.
go.
Just cross your
incredible,
fingers and hope it works.
incredible.
Yeah. Um, number two, Death Race 2000.
Hey!
Right.
That is the stupidest movie I've seen in a long fucking time.
Yes, it is.
The worst jokes I have seen in a long fucking time. But god damn it, that movie was hilarious.
It was.
Paul Bartel.
I see
It
that.
was not trying to be in the ways that I found it hilarious, but it was fucking hilarious.
And it's worked its way into the popular subconscious on 20 levels.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's,
Right.
it's everywhere. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And then number one, which was hilarious because it was trying to be hilarious, Bad Lieutenant Protocol New Orleans. And that's where I
Oh
broke
yeah.
that's where I broke the things I haven't seen before.
Hell
Because
yeah.
I've seen that
Right.
before, but god damn it, thank you for picking that and letting me watch it again.
Iguanas.
Because the iguanas, the fucking breakdancing corpse,
And I don't want to, and I don't want to say the N word, but the N word elk. I'm sorry, dude. It's just
Right.
hilarious.
I like it. Your list, Tad, goes from very serious to insane.
Oh, so the way I pick movies.
Yes,
Weird.
exactly. That's pretty much it.
I love it.
So
That was yours, Chris, right?
That was I picked both Bad Lieutenant.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
he did
did, you
both.
bastard.
Yeah.
See, I would have put both of those probably in my top 5 if I'd not, but I'd
If
seen them
you'd
both.
not seen them before.
Hilarious.
And you're +1.
My +1 runner up is Dune 2, because I think that is the best movie I've seen this year, or at least the best 2024 movie I've seen this year. But my actual +1 is Heretic.
Shit,
That's
really?
Yeah, that was close. That was
+1.
almost my +1 too. That was very close.
I guess I gotta watch this.
Hugh
That's the
Grant's-
one with Sydney Sweeney?
No,
No,
it's
it's Hugh Grant.
Hugh
Hugh
Grant.
Grant.
Hugh Grant one, I'm
Grant.
sorry.
Yeah, Hugh
Fuck, I gotta
Grant's
see this.
Hugh Grant's
I don't think I've seen
performance.
Heretic, yeah.
Somebody said to me at work the other day that they think Hugh Grant's going to get an Oscar for it, and I'm like, no, or
No,
at least
it's
a
a horror
nomination. And
The-
right,
well-
I'm like, one, it's a horror movie. Two, everybody hates the A24 guy. Like,
True, but he
Like,
is
you-
nominated for a Golden Globe already, so that's a good sign. I mean, it's probably not going to happen. I agree with you
I
because of those reasons that you just stated.
Like if people like fucking Tony
But it's-
Collette for
Tony
Hereditary.
Collette for Hereditary should have. That was a
I
slam
mean,
dunk.
like,
Yeah.
but it's the horror movies are in the ghetto. Like, it's just not going to happen.
It's
Right.
true, but you're right, Tad.
I also
Get
don't
nominated.
I don't necessarily think that he deserves it either, but I think it is in a genre film one of the better performances I have seen.
Wow.
Like
Mhm.
he leans all the way into that character and does these code switches in that performance that I think are utterly fantastic. And I think the two girls are really, really, really good. Like the way they
Everyone's
play
so
their
good in that.
parts.
Yep.
And you get Topher Grace for like 45 seconds.
2 seconds.
Man, whatever
Yeah.
happened to that guy?
Wait,
He's in Heretic.
Well, good. I'll
quit
And he's
from
got
that
like a bad
70s
wig on.
show.
I
Yeah,
watched
got
like
a
four
bad
horror
wig.
movies
Okay,
this
that can
week.
do that.
I watched
But it's-
4 fucking horror movies this week, but I didn't watch that one.